So the last thing that I would need to do to either turn this in or to hand this off to a pre-press specialist so that they can print it would be to package my artwork. And the reason for that is that you might not have all the same typefaces on your computer that I do. So what I want to do is put all the resources together that someone would need to be able to open this on a different computer and still get the same result. In order to do that, Illustrator has a built-in command. First thing I want to do is save. And then in my file menu, I want to come down to package. And it's going to create a dialog box that asks me where I want to put it. Right now, I think in the same folder as the file itself would be a good idea. And you notice, because I've already named my Illustrator file using the correct nomenclature, the folder that it's going to create that contains both a new version of the Illustrator file as well as all the resources I would need. In this case, it's really just typefaces, but if I had pictures, those would be included as well. And the folder is going to have the right name as well. Now, you do want to look at these because by default, some things may be enabled that you want to enable. For example, copy fonts or collect links in a separate folder. Links means images in Adobe Speak. So it's a good idea just for your file management to have a separate folder for images. It makes it easier to see what's going on in the package. And create report. I don't really need a report. Sometimes that's helpful to have, though, if you work in pre-press a lot. So I can turn that off, but I don't have to. And then when I choose package, I get this notification that's basically just letting me know that if the typeface cannot be legally put in that folder, if I don't have the ability to legally give someone else a copy of it, that it might not be put in the folder. So once I'm familiar with that and I'm aware of it, I can click Don't Show Again. I click OK. And now it's telling me the package was created successfully. If I want to see it, I can choose the Show Package button. So that's what I want to do. And I can see here that now I have this folder. It's showing the packaged artwork, and in it is a brand new version of my Illustrator file, as well as the typefaces that I've used here. Notice Garamon's not in there. So that would be one of those that has a licensing restriction that I wouldn't be allowed to give someone else a free copy of it, basically. The other thing I want to draw your attention to, though, is when I step out of this folder, you move out back into my E1 folder, I have another version of this Illustrator file. So this is my original. This is the one I've been working on all this time, and it's the one that's open right here. But in order to package it, another version of it has been created and put in this folder. So this can cause your file management to get just a little bit out of hand. What I would recommend you do at this point is come back to this file, close it, and then let's come back, let's open our packaged version and make sure that it works. And as long as it opens, it doesn't have any errors, the software doesn't crash when I open it, what I really want to do is consider this my most recent version, and I actually want to get rid of the other version. So I'm going to come back to the one that I've been working on all this time. I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to continue to work from the packaged version that I just created as my master file. If I repackage, I'm going to want to repeat that process just to make sure that I always have the latest and greatest of my files available to me on my computer. To turn it in, what I would need to do is compress this into a zip file. So a zip file basically makes a folder act like a file. So in softwares where you cannot upload a folder, which is a lot of them, a zip file will allow you to upload or attach a folder that can be expanded later, and it's treated like a single file. So I'm going to right click on that, compress on a Mac. It's probably different for PCs, but you want to look for a command that's similar. And again, since my file was already named correctly, my folder for the package is named correctly, and my zip file is. Now the zip file is what I need to turn in. And when you send this to me and I open that zip file, it's going to create a copy of this folder on my computer, and everything that's inside that folder will be available to me as well. So this is what we want to turn in. And your next assignment is going to be to try to do some of what we just did together on your own. So you're going to get the content for the second poster in the series, which is devoted to exploring the symbolism of color, and you'll be able to work on that independently to see how well you have learned a lot of the tips and tricks that I've given you throughout this tutorial. So hopefully this has been helpful to you, and hopefully you're starting to feel like there might be some benefit to learning this. I realize this took a long time, and that's partly because I'm stopping to explain everything as I'm doing it. If I had been working on this by myself, this is an exercise that I probably would have completed within maybe a little over an hour, so it wouldn't be that bad. And that's the benefit of learning it. So what I want you to do is just go ahead and accept for now that it's going to take a little bit longer and it might not feel like you're being that efficient, but I promise you the more you practice these skills, the more efficient and effective in the software you will be.